Hello, this is Tammy Hewlett from Swimming and Stamps, and I'm here today to teach the July 2015 desktop calendar. So I've started out my calendar page by adding some high tide paper to the background, and I also, for this middle sheet, I put a mat on it of Pacific Point, and I changed the calendar numbers and days to Smoky Slate. So to start off, I'm going to go over to the Design Center and add a photo box. Not a photo box. Okay, and then we'll put it up here, and it's a little small, so I'm going to make it a little bit wider and bring it up a teeny bit. That's probably about right. Okay, and then I'm going to fill that with high tide number 8. So I drag it in, and I need to zoom in a little bit, so add some, or hit this plus sign, and then move it so that the fish are up towards the right. Excuse me, the left. Okay, that's good for now. Now I'm going to add another photo box and make it really narrow. Bring it down here on the sides and kind of size it down until it's just touching the top of that other photo box. Okay, and then I'm going to fill that with high tide 12, these little starfish and seashells. And again, I'm going to zoom in and then kind of move so I get a few starfish there. Yeah, that looks good. And then I'm going to go Control C, Control V, well, or edit, copy, edit, paste. Okay, that works too. And come over and put the same thing on the other side. If you double click, you can move it around so that it's something different than what you put on the other side. Okay, now on this lesson, we are going to be using the Layers tool, so that you can find that on the resource palette over here. And if you select that right now, I'm going to actually move this high tide number 8 above so that those little tips of the long narrow layers are underneath. All right, so the next step is to go to the embellishments, and I've already selected the burlap ribbon, but if you don't have it, just select Browse and click on Burlap Ribbon. And I'm going to bring over the folded piece and then size that down considerably, and probably did that a little too much. Yeah, that's about right. I want the tip to show, but I want the edge to kind of come off a little bit. And what I did to make this edge straight was I cropped it and just made a straight edge like that. Hit OK. And then you got to move it again. All right. And then I added a drop shadow to that. And while we're here, go ahead and bring over this burlap flag too. Size that down just a teeny bit and stick it up here so we can use it later. I'm just using my keyboard there. And again, I'm going to add a drop shadow. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is add the label that says July. So go to your punches and make sure you're on the basic punches and scroll down until you see the oval punch. Bring that over, and we're going to increase the size a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. Not quite that much. Okay. Then color fill that with Pacific Point. If you hover over the color, it'll tell you which color you're selecting. Add a drop shadow. And then we're going to add a stamp from Beautiful Today. So click on your stamps, hit Browse, and go down to the bottom where it says Designer Kits and select Beautiful Today. And click down until you find this little circle wreath here. Size that down and maybe a teeny bit more. Yeah. And then you can use your arrow keys to get it pretty close. We're going to center this later, so don't worry too much. And then I'm going to change the color of that stamp to white. Next thing I'm going to do is, I'm still in stamps, so I'm going to browse and go back up to the top to month by month. Where is that? There we go. And I'm going to scroll down to July and bring over this handwritten July. And it's about the right size, and I'm going to change the color to Calypso Coral, which I believe is this one. Yep. Okay, now to center all of these, what I want to do is, I've already selected the July, so hold down the Shift key and click on the little wreath stamp, and then if you can, get the punch as well. I can tell now that all three are highlighted because you can see the little gray squares around them. Then select Arrange, Align, Center, and that will center the middle of all three of those elements. Then I'm going to say Arrange, Group, and that'll group them all together. Now I'm going to hit the Shift key again and highlight this little piece of Designer Series paper that we stuck on the inside layer. And I'm going to say Arrange, Align, Center. That will center this whole label along the that inside piece, which is exactly what I wanted. Okay, next we're going to browse again and go to the stamp set High Tide. Or is it Hello Sailor? Yeah, it's Hello Sailor. Sorry, I said the wrong thing. Okay, and we're going to bring over this stamp called Best Mate. And I'm going to crop that. Just the bottom. I just want this little squiggly on the bottom. Hit OK. And we're going to put this at the bottom of our calendar. Make it a little, as big as you can, and still make it fit. Sometimes you have to go kind of slow. Yeah, that's about right. Just kind of bring it up. And again, I can center that along, whoops, I don't want to do that one. I'm going to do the white part. So let's go Arrange, Align, Center. And that'll center it back. What I did was I hit the white sheet that's underneath all these layers. Okay, now click off and just click on the stamp itself. And I'm going to first color the whole thing Calypso Coral. I think it's this one. Yeah. And then I'm going to use the coloring tool to, first let's zoom in a little bit so we can see what the heck we're doing. I am going to use Pacific Point for the star right here, and then Soft Sky for the two little dots, just to give it a little bit of interest. And then click OK. All right, So there we go. That's all I'm going to do on this video. I'll be back to do the final banner